evening, good day to all beings, nature, and everyone anywhere in the world. Welcome to the Mama Africa show for Africans in the diaspora, USA, Europe, Asia, wherever you are. We bring something beautiful, talking about our strive, thrive, and hustle in the diaspora. This show comes to you every Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. live on YouTube. Our goal is to build, reignite, and reinvigorate each other in the diaspora and beyond. My name is Anna Mwalago, aka Mama Africa, and I am so blessed to be on the mic with you today. Hey! My tongue rolls in a different way. That don't mean I'm dumb. And see, yes, comprende English, because I probably speak and know more English than you. Hey! Today, we have a show that is hot like fire, like pepper soup. Hey, I have this beautiful lady with me here, Nany Konde. Welcome, Nany.
Welcome.
And we are going to discuss so many things, Nany. We are going to discuss how did you come to America? How did you make it in America? You know, the wahala, the troubles of living in the USA. How did you survive? How are you striving? What are your challenges? And we also introduce new diaspora music. And of course, we have the mother tongue section. Nany, be ready. I want to hear some Creole and some Mandingo, where we speak in our mother tongue, sharing a proverb from any part of the African continent. But first, let's go to our news around the world. And before I introduce my guest, you know, we always go to the news around the world. And, you know, I don't know where to start. It's some interesting news. But I want to start with Sudan. They say Sudan could soon have 10 million internally displaced people, according to the UN agency. And this is really sad news. I don't know if many people know, but we've been having a war in Sudan. And yes, we hear about the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, but I think we should also highlight the war that's going on in Sudan. They say the number of people internally displaced in Sudan due to conflict could soon exceed 10 million. The United Nations Migration Agency said on Friday in the world's largest displacement crisis. Fighting broke out in the capital Khartoum in April 2023 and quickly spread across the country, reigniting ethnic bloodshed in the western Darfur region and forcing millions to flee. And so this is definitely something that it is sad, and we are praying for the people, and we are also asking that the United Nations and all the countries could please end this war and help us to end this war. In other news, I want to mention about a sister from Kenya who passed on, and her name is Warrior Njambi Kokai. And I think I definitely, because number one, she's a sister like me, and also I wanted to highlight the fact that she died because of endometriosis. And when you hear something like that, it shocks you, because, you know, first, before even I go further, Warrior Njambi Kokai was a reggae DJ. She was an MC. She was a journalist. She was a politician. She was a celebrity in Kenya. And she had suffered with endometriosis unknowingly since she was 13, because I was listening to her interview. And when she found out that she had endometriosis, I am not so sure about the age. She was at least around maybe in her 20s. So she had to get surgeries done, because before then they had misdiagnosed her. Can you imagine being misdiagnosed over 10 times with different sicknesses, not knowing what really ails you? And finally, when she was correctly diagnosed, she was in her late 20s. She had to come to the United States to get the surgeries done, and her endometriosis was so bad that it had and basically a lot of people don't know about what endometriosis is, but it is the uterus lining, you know, growing outside of the uterus, and it had grown to her lungs. Can you imagine? And I am passionate about this, and I talk about this because I myself, I've been diagnosed with fibroids. I've had more than 2 surgeries of fibroids, and also endometriosis. And even though they have never correctly said that you have endometriosis, but because of the symptoms, they say, okay, you might have endometriosis. And it's so for me, it touched home. It was really sad. I watched the interviews. I thought about her, and I just want to dedicate this show to Warrior Njambi Kokai. Even though I don't know her, I feel her, because really, when it comes, I never thought I would hear somebody die of endometriosis. And I just want the people in Kenya and many developing countries to pay attention to women's health. It's so important. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a sad story, right? Because here in the United States, endometriosis is something that can be easily controlled. And for women, all of us are at risk.
Yes.
Everybody who has a uterus is at
Yes,
risk. So it
yes.
really, it's close to home
Yes,
for all of us.
and don't ignore, especially in the diaspora, in the developing. Don't ignore when your young kids or your girls at 10, 12, 11 start telling you that they are experiencing some pain with their menstrual cycle. It's something you should, because as I have done so much research about this, that I know that they say menstrual cycle should not be painful. It's a myth when we say it is supposed to be painful. So if it is painful, there is a problem. And so I really wanted to say that, let's, because of this story, which is sad, may her soul rest in peace. At the same time, please, let us educate ourselves, and let us not ignore when our young girls, even older girls, and us are suffering from women health issues. Let's do something about it. And of course, on a lighter tone, let me tell you about this. A lady gave birth at the Golden Corral. She didn't even know she was pregnant. She went from the bathroom. She told her parents they had gone actually for a party. And this is in somewhere in Arkansas. Yes, they had gone for a party with her family, and she started experiencing pain. And guess what? She went to the bathroom, and her mother was like, what's going on? 10 minutes, she's not back. 15 minutes, she goes to check, the woman is screaming. She's like, hey,
Oh,
and
wow.
then all of a sudden she said, oh, it is out. Looking inside the toilet, the baby is inside there. She was 37 weeks. True story. I tell you, true story. She was 37 weeks. She said she did not even know she was pregnant. Her name is Tavia Woodfolk. And they, do you know what they did? They ended up calling the baby. They didn't call her they didn't call the baby Golden Corral. But the baby is called, what's the baby's name? I saw somewhere. Yes, Corral is his middle name. So it is Tamar something, and then Corral, and then Woodfolk. And you know what? We just say we celebrate that another baby is born. We're going to be coming back, but right now we are taking a short break with the music, and we're coming back. But let me just say this. One more thing. Oh, Lord, I have to talk about this before we go on our break. Hey, can you imagine if you are given 1 month of free Verizon Fios? Like basically no paying of any subsidy. That's happened in Nigeria. A Nigerian Consumer Tribunal fined the local unit of Africa's biggest pay TV company, Multi-Choice Group. It was fined, I think, a lot of money, millions of naira, on Friday for contempt of court, and ordered the company to offer its subscribers 1 month of free service.
Wow.
That's when you say Christmas has come early. Well, with that, we're showing a short break. We come back with our guest, Nany Konde, all the way from Guinea. And yes, before we go, we have our second song, and I wanted just to mention the song is